Welcome to our treasure hunt. I'm Nancy, and we have Des with us today.
Hey
A few
y'all,
days in chat. So, whew, oh
yeah, you
goodness,
been kicked over here.
yeah.
You have to ask DJ about there's a 7 second or whatever that you don't have to wait the minute long. There's a way that you can shorten this time span between YouTube and Restream and YouTube and StreamYard.
Hey, Shadow, how you doing? So I'll get a few minutes. Well, we start on time.
Hey Shadow.
Oh goodness. So I'll get a few. I've got water going in the just water in the coffee pot because I don't know if anybody, how many people saw. I ordered the Ryze Coffee, the mushroom
Uh,
coffee.
hey
Hey
Paul,
Heather, how you
Heather.
doing? And Paul. So we're open this up today. I did a little video yesterday. We're gonna open this up and try it today right here on the live. So this is the package. It says 1 tablespoon of Ryze to 8 to 10 ounces of hot or cold water. Enjoy ice as well. Add milk and creamer to make a latte. And it has a spoon that came with it. It has a magnet.
Oh, that's a cute magnet.
It is so cute.
That
Oh
would be
my
up in my fridge.
God. So I'm not going to have that for long. I know that. And then Anastasia will ask for the box. And then a
Yeah,
nice little card.
yeah. I didn't forget it. You're sending me that magnet.
I may hide it. Oh, so that's what we're going to do here in a few minutes. And then this is basically, we're talking about head, shoulders, knees and toes, eyes and ears, mouth and nose, and hips and back and everything else. So this is more of a kind of like a health update of what's going on. And I feel like making a video, so I just do it on the live. I knew the Ryze Coffee was coming, so I was like, that'll be good. I can do that live and everything. Hey CB, how you doing?
Hi CB. I'm trying to get my mouse over to type, but it won't go over where it needs to go.
And so, oh my goodness. So I'm gonna log in to get the information I need so I can have it tell you right.
There we go. Oh, you still have that heart in there. Your YouTube chat.
Yeah. So, you know, sometimes sometimes I like this chat there, and then sometimes I look more on the phone than I do up here.
I like having the YouTube chat so I can respond back because I can't restream, which
Oh
is
yeah.
but it's also faster. So the chat. I want to pop up that chat and close that.
So part of the reason why that yeah, I'm constantly adjusting, getting up, sitting, moving around. One, I don't want my body to get too stiff. Second of all, I'm telling you, if I sit more than 30 minutes in this, and it doesn't matter if it's the rocking chair, if it's another chair, it's like someone's got to pull me out of the chair. It's all locked up through the back, through my back, down the pelvic area, your butt bone, you name it. And it's like, oh, okay, how's this going to work? Hey, Rebecca, how you doing?
Oh, she's in pain.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's got
Oh,
she's got internal bruises here and her legs and stuff from falling over the jack.
I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. So yes, I am walking with two canes now because I have to, not because I want to. So I'm like, when y'all see when I do go in the kitchen on the lives and everything, I'm holding on to the counter because yeah, it's gotten that bad. So went to the doctor Wednesday because I needed to go. I also need to do a wellness check and all that other good stuff. But I went because I was like, it's getting worse. So my doctor agreed that there's some up needed um, x-rays that need to be done to see what was going on. And I was like, yeah, hey Carol, how you doing? So the x-rays on my back and they did the thoracic, which is like the T's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that when it goes into the lumbar. So it says mild mid thoracic dextrocoliosis, mild multi-level degenerative disc disease. Says no acute bony abnormality. But further down, it says there are multi-level disc space narrowing and small end plate osteophates. Image portions of the lungs appear aerated. I have no idea what that is. It says partially imaged cardiac rhythm maintenance device leads. So they saw the leads when they took the x-rays of the pacemaker, which I thought was cool. And it says vertebral body heights are maintained and dextrocolus, whatever word, curvature centered at T6 through T7, measuring 15 degrees, which is my scoliosis. So they finally documented that it's there. Um, Also, on what I was searching, once it there said the end plate OST. I'll put it in the chat. Small end plate. What that means is bone spurs. But bone spurs, well, I was looking at the other day. Here's your desk. Bone spurs could be on one side or on this side or however they are. I had them on both sides. So I guess that's what I'm feeling when I lay down and I feel in that area, right your mid back, and I feel stuff moving around as the bone spur is probably rubbing up against the muscle. Then with the multi-level degenerative disc disease that I already knew, but it's like I think that's getting worse than they thought it would. Um, and then, all right, so the curvature of the spine, 15 degrees. As far as medical terms goes, as being an EMT, I still don't understand what that means. So I had one person say it when your spine comes down, it curves to the left, like this, then comes back down. So I'm just like, and I researched all that, and there's things they could do to fix that. But if it's, my understanding, if it's mild, then they're not going to do anything. I'm like, I don't know. You got to do something because it's not comfortable. Hey, Beverly, how you doing? Not comfortable at all. So that's what they did with my back, and that's what they found out about my back. Now, my hips. Degenerative changes of both hip joints, left worse than right. And I was telling Des the other night on her live, and she was like, well, no, duh. I was like, we got to laugh. I was like, yeah, I know it hurts worse than the right. I've been telling y'all that for years. So it says, all right, the findings was no acute pelvic or hip fracture, but degenerative changes on the lumbar sacral junction, which is when your lumbar bones curve back in like this and go down to your butt bone. And it says mild osteoporosis of the S1 joints, which is osteoarthritis. And some other medical terms, I don't know. I looked it up, but I was like, I kind of kept it and I didn't. All right, so the right hip is mild osteoarthritis in the right hip with joint space nearing subchondral scoliosis and spur formation at the head of the joint and neck. Yeah, ouch, that hurts. Then it says something, no protrusion, and then it's all intact, but it's still having those bone spurs on there. And the left hip, it says moderate. So in medical terms, it's mild, moderate, severe. So they put moderate because apparently they had no other x-rays to go by. But there's stuff in my chart in this one that they could go by. So I don't know why they didn't go back and look at those. So moderate osteoarthritis of the left hip with joint space and subchondral scoliosis and spur formation. Um, it says again, no protrusion, it's intact, but with the space narrowing, which means here's your hip, here's your joint, and the space is the between the joint and the hip is narrowing, so it's going to be bone on bone. And I'm like, So my doctor and I are back and forth Friday talking through email and everything else. He gave me some different type of anti-inflammation medicine. So I took one this morning. So I didn't want to take it at night because I didn't know how I was going to react to it. So I waited to the day. So I took one this morning, and then it says take twice a day as needed. So it's like, okay. So now I'm not going to take the Motrin 4 times a day. I'll take this one twice a day. We're going to see how that works. And he came back with the last one. He said, because I hate to say this, but he goes, it looks like you're going to have a hip replacement in a couple of years. So this is like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So by the time he got my response, they had already closed. And I'm laughing. And I'm like, well, that's funny because that's what the orthopedic said 2 years ago. In a couple of years, you'll need a hip replacement. I said, well, it's 2 years from then. And I was like, and that's what the not neurologist. I say neurologist. I could see what he was. Had sit there and said that 2 years. Huh?
LB is here. She said,
Hey,
to work. Just want to stop by and say hi.
Hey, LB.
And Beverly Akins is Akins. I'm sorry, Beverly. Yep, Akins. And Kel Walters. I don't know if you said hi to both of them, but they're here.
I saw them. I think I said, but hi, Beverly. Hi, Carol. So, yeah, it was 2022, 2021. Yeah, 2021. I went to see, I can't even pronounce this doctor's name. So, and he was like, well, in a few years, you'll probably need a hip replacement. I was like, okay, I know that. I know what my body needs. So then I saw the orthopedic. And the only thing difference is the orthopedic people are right there at the hospital, but they're separate. It's not even in the same system. And I'm just like, oh, this is ridiculous. So I had to email those people to sit there and get a copy of my records of the x-rays they did there so I can send them to my doctor so they can compare things. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. This is supposed to be all electronic now so that everybody can see everything and y'all not linking the stuff up. So
when I moved down here, my doctors down here had me send for a records request. They didn't review my records. They just went by what they were doing down here. It's like, dude, everything that's going on in my body is in my records up north. They were transferred to you. Did you not read anything?
Exactly. And it's like, I like how the electronic stuff is now, because if I had to go to the hospital, which is 4 blocks from me instead of 3 miles from me, they can look at my records from my doctor in the main hospital I go to. So those are connected. But why the orthopedic people are not connected to the main hospital, I have no idea. So I'm just like, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
my doctor just looks at me. He goes, you know, he goes, I wish all my patients had, your attitude and everything. He goes, because they all just sit there like sad and this, that, and the other. I'm like, I've already cried enough as it is about being in pain. You just gotta laugh and keep on going. So I'm like, yeah, I've got 2 cushions underneath me, and that still doesn't help. And then if I sit too long, I can't get up. But I was sitting here thinking about this for years and years. I've been that way before the final slip and fall in 2009. I've always been that way. So I was like, so this has been something since birth, like my heart, and nobody ever caught it. Because, you growing up, you fall and everything, they all get up. You're fine. You don't need to go to the hospital because, back then that was expensive. And when you had, even mid-income families back then in the 70s, stuff was expensive, especially
yeah.
hospitals. And there weren't no such thing as like really insurance back then. So I'm just like, okay. But now that, that's what I'm talking about. God's timing is always, right time, right place, God's timing. Because even back in 2021, well, before November of 2021, the only thing I had was Medicare, and they pay crap. And I just tell you off
Oh, I
that.
know, I know. They pay
And,
80%, and you're
yeah,
responsible for the 20%. And if you're
exactly.
lucky to be having a state that's got extended Medicaid, and you qualify for Medicaid, they'll cover the 20%. But if you're in a state like mine, they won't cover it. You're considered medically needy. So my medically needy is $975 per month before Medicaid will kick in. I live in $1,125 per month.
Mm-hmm.
That's so messed up. Hey,
It
Elliot.
is messed up. Hey, Elliot, how you doing? So I did not know. So November 2021, we have the EMB, which is the supplement Medicaid for Medicare. I didn't know I have it. They never sent anything in the email. They never sent a paper card or nothing. So April 2022, I went back to the hospital. It's always the same time every year or every 2 years. April, May. For some reason, that's when my body says it's time to go to the doctor. So I went, and that's when they did a CT scan. And no, the guy said, "Do you know you have scoliosis?" I'm like, you're not the only one that's told me that. Will you please make a note of it? And he didn't. And I'm like, what in the world? So that's when they referred me to the orthopedic and all this other stuff. And that I went to that orthopedic, and it's in my chart. You fill it out and everything, and after he listened to me, he goes, "Have you ever been diagnosed with fibromyalgia?" I'm like, "It's in my chart. I've had it since 2003, and probably earlier than that." Uh, was his answer. He goes, "Well, you'll probably need a hip replacement, but not right now. In like 2 or 3 years in there or so." I'm like, "I can't walk now. That's the problem." He goes, "No, it's your back. You need physical therapy." I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I told my doctor, don't send me back to him because I refuse to go back to that one. And so in that group, there's ones that do knees and hips, and there's ones that do hands. So the one that did my carpal tunnel, I asked him, I said, "Could you please do hips too?" He goes, "I don't." I'm like, darn
I know.
it.
I wanted to keep my wound doctor, but my wound doctor retired because he's the one that signed off on my handicap plaque. He's the one that knows when my legs are bothering me and I see a red blotch or I feel like I'm coming down with an infection, he'll order a prescription for me, you know?
Exactly.
And he knows, even though he doesn't like me to smoking, but he knows that I don't complain about things unless it's really bad. And now I've got another doctor that I got to figure out, a female doctor who actually like. I'm getting to know, but it's just like I won't go to my regular doctor. Every time I go to my regular doctor,
Mhm.
I go in there, I'm all happy. You guys see me, I'm all happy. I go in there, it says one thing to me. He goes, "What? You don't get your pneumonia shot in this? You're gonna die. You want to kill yourself, right?"
I don't understand some doctors like that.
And I'm like, last time I got the flu shot, I ended up with the flu, and I was sick as a dog for a month. You think I want to go back and get another flu shot? I don't think so. I have not had the flu since then. Thank you. And that was umpteen years ago. And so I go in happy. I come out mad, in tears, and I have not seen him in 2 years because there's no other person for me to go to.
I don't know.
And he's one of those doctors that take you. I hate to say this, guys, don't get a doctor like this when you're in hospice, but he's one of those doctors that take care of the patients when they go to hospice. And it's like, if he's got that kind of an attitude with me, I can only imagine the attitude he has with them.
Exactly.
Oh, and that's why I won't
Exactly.
go to the doctors right now. And I know I have to see 7 different specialists. I can't afford it on my insurance. I can't afford, to do anything. And it's like, people are like, go call your doctor. I'm like, I can't even see him if I wanted to for another 3 or 4 months. How am I going to go see this doctor? It's only on Wednesdays and Thursdays that I can go. No, sorry, Wednesdays and Fridays. And I can't go anywhere else because all the doctors, they don't want to take Medicare and Medicaid
Exactly.
or medically needing Medicaid because I still have to pay my share cost. And with that clinic, I don't have to pay a copay. If I went to a regular doctor, I'd have to pay a copay of like $40 just to be seen. So I have to see 7 specialists. That's $280. That means I don't get to have food in my house or my cable for that month or whatever because it takes away from the amount I get paid. It's like,
Oh, I know. I
damned
know.
if I do, excuse my French, and damned if I don't.
Yeah, that's what I was saying on Gary's last night when I say you darned if you do and darned if you don't.
It's the worst.
Typically, you know. So, all right. So, subchondral scoliosis can cause painful bone spurs, which can reduce the range of motion of the affected joint. So, I've got bone spurs on the vertebrae in my spine and bone spurs in my hip. So that's why, and it's on both hips. And I'm just like, go in there, just go with the laser and just shave it off with the laser because I know y'all can do those things now.
Mine broke off by itself on my foot. I'm wondering if enough times of you hobbling around with your canes will fracture some of that bone spur from your hips because obviously they don't want to do anything with you.
So I was like, yeah, I was like looking up different things. I thought I still had it here. But I was like, you get your chart and you start looking it up too. And it's like the doctor kind of like, oh, you're good. I was like, no, this says this. And I did that to one doctor. And that was actually the heart doctor that I went to. It was all right, the first cardiologist, and he sent me to the special cardiologist, which did the pacemaker. And he goes, well, this the EKG, whatever they did, looks fine. I'm like, no, it doesn't, because this is what it says here. I'm like, I'm not a dummy. I look at my stuff and look it up and see what it says and everything. And that's when he goes, fine, we just put a heart monitor on for a week and we'll see what happens. And he got, it's like he got told, he came back with stuff. And he was like, his nurse apologized to me. And he said, he goes, she apologized first it took so long because he was sick with COVID. Yes, I said the word, they can do whatever, I don't care.
As long as you don't give any medical advice.
Right. He was sick with the C, and I was like, oh great. He was sick when I saw him. I hope I was like, it's like we're not gonna get it, and we didn't get it, so that was good. But she apologized that it took so long to get back because he was sick. And then she apologized. He said he apologized because he really thought I was just, just like some of the other ones. I'm a female, and oh, you just coming in here because you think something that's, and I'm just like, well, it's my body. I know what it does and what it doesn't do. I was like, I almost told him, come live in my body for a week and see how you do getting up and out of the chair and up and out of the bed. Trying to get your leg up over the shower, over the tub to, I'll look at that in a little bit, Des.
Yeah.
Because my right leg and it was is the good leg, and then when I started where I couldn't, I was like having difficulty getting my leg up over the tub to get into the shower. I was like, okay, something's going on, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. So it's like it's time to go see my doctor again. And I was like, he listens, and that's what I love about him because he takes his time with you and he listens to what's going on and everything, and then we make a plan to go forward. So that is where I am at right now, which I knew 2 or 3 years ago when they say in a couple of years you'll need a hip replacement. I'm like, okay, it's that time. Let's just
Right.
do it now. I was like, don't wait no more. Don't put it off 2 more years. Oh, yes, indeed, Rebecca. I tell yeah,
Yeah, it's like me. I'm thankful for my kids being here to help take care of me. Like
exactly.
my car is down right now. I don't even know if I'll have a car. I once I know this week when the mechanics look at it, and he said he'll take the 2 hours on bus or whatever it takes to get from here to the other side of town to go get us coffee at Sam's Club because they don't sell the size coffee that we use at Walmart and in that flavor. And if they did, it would be like $6 more than at Sam's Club. So it's just like,
Right. Oh, I know.
yeah, it's bad. It's just you know, you need people like you've got your kids, you know what I mean, and you got Anastasia. She's got a brother. Thank goodness for my two kids, because getting older, or even not even older, just becoming disabled or hurt, you need people in your house, or friends or somebody, a companion, a significant other to come and be there for you when you need them the most. Because if I didn't have those kids, I'd be on my own, and I wouldn't be out of my house. I wouldn't be able to pay my bills. I wouldn't be able to go grocery shopping. I wouldn't be able to do anything. Help
Oh,
me,
I know.
my legs wrapped up from my wounds. My daughter in the middle of the night, she's a night owl. She'll come down if I wake up 2 or 3 in the morning and the band-aids are off my legs. She comes down and rebandages my legs for me. You need somebody like I said. You've got your kids, so it helps. And Anastasia, if you're having a bad day, they can get something for you. Same with Rebecca. She's got her brother. You know,
Exactly.
you
And
need that kind
mhm,
of network.
yeah, and then you know, when Anastasia's mom was let go, and upset. Well, you're always upset when the job hires you and everything, but I
Hmm.
was like, the Lord has a purpose for that because when they both work Sunday through Thursday, there's only Friday, and I do have the transportation thing with my insurance. But then by Friday comes, I'm so wiped out and everything. I'm like, I've been sitting there praying. It's like, Lord, it'd be nice just to go during the week sometimes just to get it over and done with. And so since she's been home, I'm like, okay, Lord goes, it's time to get this plan in action. So, Wednesday I went, and then Friday I went to do the x-rays. So I'm just like, there's God does everything for a reason and a purpose. Sometimes we don't know it right then and there, but I'm like, He knows that this surgery's coming up, and it may be sooner than 2 years. So how was that? If she was still working, he's taking care of Anastasia. They're gonna have to have time off. Well, now she don't have to worry about asking for that time off, you know. But I told them to always use me as an excuse. It doesn't matter if they need to leave early.
Yeah. So very true, Shadow. It's always good.
Exactly.
But it also
So,
depends on the person, because
right,
not everybody wants to do it, and not everybody is friendly, and they get frustrated. And they just like quit on you, even family.
yeah.
So, yeah, thank goodness you can get all those appointments taken care of while she's there, because she drives, right?
No, she doesn't
Oh,
drive.
she doesn't drive. Well, then
Mm-mm.
she can stay with Anastasia while you're on the rides to the doctors and stuff.
Yeah.
You
So,
know, yeah.
yeah, because they stay home. I mean, they have it in there where if you need somebody to go with you, you can. But I'm just like, I don't need y'all to go with me. I just like when I go to surgery or something, someone to be there. But
Mm,
I was like, well, I was like when I had my pacemaker. Um, my son was there. My son was there until after the surgery, and then when I came to recovery, and then they said you can go home because she's going to be here for 2 more hours or so because they had to do X-rays and make sure everything was okay, and also, and then they called them and let them know when I was ready to be picked up. So that was, all right. And then they were talking about. I was telling what the doctor said, and I was like, "Well, you would have to have someone come in and help give you a not a bath, like a sponge bath." No, I say I'll do my own sponge bath. I say, do y'all not realize that now sometimes they do hip replacement as an outpatient
hmm
thing? That is, yeah, they've
My
done
aunt
it.
had one hers done recently, and she had one side done, and she can't drive yet. She's still not been cleared for driving, and the physical therapist comes to the house once or twice a week and helps her get around, walk and exercise and all that kind of stuff. And she's been walking to the length of the pool, and she had her son upstairs, but he's getting ready to move to Illinois. He got offered a really good job, so she's like trying to downsize, but at the same time, she's like, I can't, because I called her to see, I called her. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because I got stuck yesterday. Remember my story? And
Right,
she's like, I'm not clear to drive yet. I'm like, okay, but she got sent home like within a few hours after after the surgery.
right,
It was just I was like, whoa, things have changed so much.
exactly. And that's another thing. Here I was 40 years waiting for to figure out about my heart, and you know, what if they had done it years ago? Not really knowing that I couldn't have all those, I can't have narcotics, and it stops my heart. Or, you know, instead of this one lasts 15 years, they say it probably lasts a little bit longer because it doesn't work all the time like some people have. And it's like, because back then there was like every 5 years they had to go in and replace it. So this one's 15 years plus. And it's like, God's timing sometimes, we think it's taking a long time. And he's like, so there's some things that needs to be worked out for you first before you get to it. Because then it'll all come together. So just like, I
Yeah,
think that,
my stepdad had the one that changed every 5 years, and then the last one he got before the Nashville bomber did the thing on Christmas Day. He had just gotten the new 15-year one.
oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and he ended up dying anyway from a heart attack because the ambulance couldn't get to him in time because the AT&T bomber took out the tower, took out the signal, and they couldn't. And of course, being a rural area, AT&T is usually the phone. They couldn't get a
Right.
hold of the EMTs. They had to go up on the hill to see if somebody else had, because they were in a valley. So they had to go up on top of the hill, knock on people's houses and doors, saying, "Do you have a landline? Can you please call the EMTs to come?" And he didn't make it to the VA hospital.
Oh,
So
my
I
goodness.
didn't, yeah, because of the bomber. Yeah, but he
Hmm.
just got that new pacemaker like the month or two before, and it was just
I was
like
kind of surprised that the pacemaker didn't keep his heart going.
it was bad. I mean, it probably would have if the EMTs got there in time, to help with the rest of it because it was more than
Well,
just
yeah, that's true.
because
Yeah,
they probably need medication and all that stuff for it, and the paramedics or whatever, whoever can administer the drug, the
very
paramedics, I
much.
think it is, right? Yeah. So yeah, so they had to wait for all that, and of course, without no signal, you can't do it. But he, had, like I said, he had just gotten the new one like 2 months before, a month or two before, and it was just like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. So make sure you guys have a backup. You know somebody else has got a different phone service, just in case your phone goes out. Oh, I mean, it's funny and it's not funny. You know,
Exactly.
I have to laugh about it. My stepdad was amazing. I loved him. He was great. But yeah, pacemakers have come a long way. He could have vouched for that one because he went through numerous ones ever since he came back from the first Iraq War. When
Right.
you remember they sent everybody off to the Gulf War before they sent to the second one,
Right.
he got really sick when he came back because everybody was coming down with stuff that chemicals that were thrown over there, and he got really sick and ended up having heart issues and gout and all sorts of stuff, cancer I think also, all from, and even the moms that were spouses of the soldier, their babies were coming down
Hmm.
with medical issues from over there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I did look up the lumbar sacral junction is the juncture of the last lumbar vertebrae, L7, with the sacrum where the spinal cord meets the pelvis and back legs. So, yeah,
that's a big word.
I know it is. I was like,
That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, what kind of word is that? Just the lower part of your tailbone.
exactly. So it's like, yeah, it's like, think about sitting on the bleachers for 4 hours straight without getting up and down, and you got in your, or sitting on a toilet, and then you got to get up and it's all locked up and it's numb and it's it's like that's how it is. A doctor just looked at me like, well, that's the only way, best way to explain it.
Yeah, it is.
It just it locks up, and then there's no movement, and then there's no movement. I was telling somebody else, I was telling the nurse, I said, think of Barbie, the old Barbie, not the new Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, her legs are stiff like this, and she just moves her legs, and it's
And
just
the
a
hip,
body, legs
the
and
hip
body.
at the hips, and the legs are straight out.
Yeah.
I remember the
So it's
Barbies
like,
very well. I'm old enough.
yeah.
It's funny.
And it was one of the radiologists, and I was telling her that when they measured me for my heart, because getting all the numbers and everything, I'm 5'2.5" or something like that. I'm like, oh, I've lost 2 inches. I've shrunk 2 inches. And I was telling her that. She looked at me, she goes, what? I'm like, yeah. She goes, does your doctor know that? I'm like, I would think he would, but sometimes that information gets lost. She goes, you need to tell him because we have an x-ray that I guess it's stand up, but it's from your neck all the way down to your knees. And they can look at all the spine and see where you losing space at. And she goes, especially with your scoliosis like it is, she goes, if you're losing inches, she goes, that needs to be checked more often. I'm like, oh, thank you,
How did
Lord.
they do that X-ray? Did you have to stand up for that X-ray? Were you able to lay flat?
So for my back, I had to stand up. And then when they did my hips, I had to lay down.
So how in the heck did you hold yourself standing up? Did they have like bars you can hold on to?
They had a cane, a walker, and I had my cane, but
Okay,
I could lean up against the x ray machine.
that would be me because my knees, I would they would have to do it real fast because I would want one literally from here to here because I did fracture my tailbone, and I do have a natural curve in my back that other people don't have. My aunt, my cousin, and I all have the same curve, and I always lower back issues. And then now because of my osteoarthritis, the knees and my hips have been feeling it too. Because when I go
Yeah.
to bed, you go to lay down sideways. I don't know if you ever noticed that when you laying down, like if you sit up, I do the frog leg kind of. When you sit up and you're reading something, and you're like your knees are spread apart and you're just sitting there reading. and then you go to lay down. You try to move your legs and put them back out in front of you, and next thing you know, you go to lay down on your side. I go lay down on my side. I can feel my knees and my hips popping to try to go back into place.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I was wondering if I did an MRI, because I did an MRI once and I can't lay down on my back at all because I start choking.
Well,
I can't lay flat.
they have stand up MRIs, so don't let them fool you on that,
Yeah,
because they do have those now. And I saw the X-ray thing that she was talking about, and it's like, it's like 6 feet tall and everything. I guess you just stand there and it takes the whole X-ray. And I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool, because even with the pacemaker, my cardiologist says, she goes, this one now, you can go through MRI machines, but they try not to that much.
happy with all of that. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So,
because that's
oh,
what I would want to do.
yeah, because I take the sink, I hold on to the sink, or I hold on to the not the wall, but the door frame to pull myself up. I'm like, okay, this is not good, because I need to.
Yeah, yeah, because
Because
that's my fear. I have a hard time standing just to brush my teeth because of my knees, and then to try to get out, to try to walk from that, and that's only like 2 seconds or 2 minutes of standing there, and I can't bring my walker with me, so I can't because there's not enough room in the door frame. So my walker stays right outside the door, and I'm like reaching for the door frame and the counter to try to shift myself. And every time you'll hear me sometimes, I'll be like, "Ow!" It's because of my knees, and I just can't turn. And I try to walk, and it hurts so bad. It feels like I'm getting the front of my legs, my knees, smashed in by bats.
yeah,
And then all of a sudden you lose your footing, and it's like somebody just took you like out from behind your knees, like they're gonna knock you down. And I can only imagine with your hips, and then also with your lower back. I know my pain is intense. I can only imagine yours because yours is moving your legs and your back and your hip. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's
So,
intense.
and I've got this. Let's see if it's called Joint Flex,
Uh,
and it's got the quercetin and glucosamine in it, and camphor and all that. And I'm like, no wonder none of those rubs are working, because
hey
it's not going to
Kim.
work on bones. It's
Yeah,
going. Hey, Kim, it's not going to work on the bones. It's supposed to. It's supposed to help with the joints and everything. But that's like,
it's probably It's probably like the muscle tissue, the nerve ending, the nerves. You know that kind of stuff. I don't think anything helps your bones. I think it's all more like everything that's connected to your bones, the tissue, the muscle,
yeah,
the nerves.
my I believe that mine is just, it's so deep to where the bones and the nerves are, that none of that stuff is going to help. And then, my son, he refused for years. He goes, "You're not getting surgery. You're not getting surgery." And I'm like, I understand his panic about it, because he saw me die. He was the one that was me in the ER and saw me die.
Yeah,
So, that's still in the back of his head. And when I talk about any type of surgery or going to the doctor and doing this, I said, but, I've got to do something, because this isn't living. This is
no,
just making it through the day. And I'm like,
yeah,
and then I was taking, like, so I had made my turmeric paste, and I was using that at nighttime, because when I come down from upstairs with Anastasia, and she's around midnight, or 12:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm too tired to sit there and make it. So I would have my valerian over there that I've been taking. It's just a capsule of valerian root and everything. And I could not figure out for all week long why, and I felt so like I was just drained and just dragging. It kind of just hit me this morning. And I was like, oh, you've been taking the valerian at nighttime, which is good, and it helps you sleep and relax your muscles. But it'll make you still be groggy and everything all day long. And it's like, because it mellows you
the
out.
muscle relaxer.
Yeah.
It's so
And
good.
it's
Yeah,
like, well, valerian is the root of volume. So, and it's like, ah, I said, okay, I got to switch off of that for a while and go back to my turmeric milk. That's like,
You were feeling real mellow.
I won't get anything done. And I was like, because I've been wanting to sew and I was trying to crochet and I would just do some and I sat down and I was like, why am I so tired and just want to, just not do anything? And I was like, oh, that's right. So, all right, sitting in the rocking chair, which is good because I can lean back and I'm at an angle. But to sit up and tight, I gotta sit up like this and tight. So when I'm bending that hip like this, it's pinching, I guess it's the nerve in the front too,
Rocking
because
forward,
it goes
yeah.
down my leg and my leg gets numb. And there's sometimes it's heavy and I can't. And I have to take my right foot and lift up my left leg to move it. And I was like, all right. One day I was almost in tears. So I was like, this is ridiculous. This is not how it's supposed to be. I was like, okay, Lord, there's a lot of us that like this. It's me, Des, a whole lot of people. Fix our bodies.
Fix our bodies. Just give us a few days of like
Fix our
rest.
bodies.
Just give us some rest. Just take the pain away for a while. Let us like feel like we can like frolic through the flowers or something. Just let us enjoy ourselves. We don't know what it's like anymore.
So,
No, I said I
so,
get see my two wheelchairs,
uh,
my old one and my new one. So that's my enjoyment, getting pushed around my wheelchair.
I know. Well, I had a doctor in Missouri when I was going through to get my disability and everything. I had a doctor sit there and say, "In 10 years you'll be in a wheelchair," but he would never sit there and tell me
Why?
why. He didn't sit there, and even then they saw the scoliosis, but they wouldn't document it. And I'm like, why not put that there? Well, the curve is not bad enough. I don't care if the curve's not bad enough. The
You
curve is
still
there.
you notice it. Why is it not documented?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I said,
I had a stepmom that used to yell at me all the time when I was like this big. She used, how, do you remember the days where your parents or whoever, grandparent, would tell you stand up against the wall and put your back up against the wall,
mm-hmm.
and tuck in your stomach? Oh, we used to do that, stand up straight against the wall and do that. I'd still have this up against the wall. Put in your stomach. It is in. Tuck up your hips. It is up. That's my back. That's my curve. It's not going anywhere. What do you want me to do next?
Exactly.
People don't understand curves of the back. Some of us are born with it. Some of us get it later in life. My niece, she was in a body cast from her neck down for her hips and her back, and she had rods put in her back and everything. And she's now, I think, let's see, Jeremy is 32, so she's 30 or 31. She might have just turned 31, and she still has issues with her back. She's had her whole life since she was an infant. She used to sit with her legs behind her, like
Mm-hmm.
knee, kind of like kneeling but squatting, but the legs be spread out so her butt would hit the floor, which also hurts your hips. Don't let your kids do that or grandkids. And but that was all part of her disability because of her back and her hips
Right.
when she was born. I mean, I can remember body cast. We'd have to change her, and thankfully, body cast had a hole, so we'd have to change the diapers and everything. But can you imagine? Ever since a baby, rods in your back, cold, hot, arthritis all the time. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to show a picture on YouTube or not, but I'm gonna show it anyway. They can do whatever they want. All right. So right there where that red line's at, that's this curvature of the lumbar, which is the lower back. That's what I have. So it's like, yeah, no wonder I can feel the bones moving here.
They won't do anything because you're showing basically what you're going through. Again, if it was like a medical, you need to do this, telling you what you need to take.
Right.
Yeah, that's medical. This
Yeah.
is just showing. This
Uh,
is what my back is doing.
yeah.
This is my back forever.
Yeah. I'm not a doctor. I don't play on TV. And I was an EMT, but I still ain't gonna give you medical advice. And that's they trained us to tell you that too. We would sit there to assess the situation, do our what we could do and everything,
I call them
and
in.
right and call it in. And now the patient, if the patient refused, the patient refused. We couldn't make them, but they want us to give medical advice, and we would have to say we can give you medical advice. We can suggest that you go to your doctor and find out what's going on.
Yeah, we're
We,
not we're not licensed for medical advice. We have to call
exactly.
we have to call the hospital just to let them know what's going on with you to see what our next steps are. Whereas the paramedic has a little bit more leeway, and they still have to call it in, but they have a little more leeway than the EMT.
Oh yeah,
I know
yeah,
because my cousin was one. She was a paramedic and a firefighter. So yeah,
yeah. Now that things are better than because there's things you can do in the back of the unit to get the patient to the hospital. But yeah, we still didn't. Yeah, I had one patient that sit there. Well, what do you suggest? I suggest you go to the hospital or go to your doctor.
I suggest you just relax and enjoy the ride,
Exactly.
even if the bed rocks. I
No.
know I've been in one.
All right. I am going to go get some hot water and we're
And you're
going
gonna
to try
try this
this
out.
Ryze coffee.
Cool. You got to show that magnet one more time for those that came in late.
I
That was
will.
really cool. I would just get that just for the magnet.
Oh my gosh. All right. All righty. Yep. And thank God for the counters and the walls because I hold them up very well.
Yeah. Man, that was fast.
Well, the coffee pot was not on the hot plate of the coffee machine, so the water wasn't. It's warm and stuff, hot water. So I was like,
Got
what
it.
happened there? So I stuck this in the microwave for 30 seconds
Oh,
just to get.
I've been putting it in there for 2.5 minutes.
Oh yeah, usually I do.
Boiling water.
Okay. If everybody saw, I got because I did a video. I got the Ryze Coffee, and if you go there and I have a code. I'll put the code, but on the video, I have my code to get 15% off. So yes, I used my own code and got 15% off.
It doesn't make it so that you have to have one every month, does it?
No,
Okay. Good, because I don't like those
no,
box things.
yeah, no, it didn't. It
Hi,
didn't do
Peter.
that. Hey,
Okay.
Peter, how you doing? And it came with a spoon, and
Thank
comes with
you,
this
Beverly.
nice
Oh,
magnet
that magnet is so cool.
and a cool.
So cool.
All
It says
right,
you're a
Beverly,
what?
you
You're,
have a good
what does it
day.
say? You're a what?
Do I?
On that magnet. What does it say? You're a what?
You're amazing.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to read it backwards, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it went fast. I'm like, I couldn't read it.
I'm gonna get the spoon open.
They should have a coffee called Shadow. Get on it, Shadow. Make it taste like Colombian coffee, though. Shadow's
That's
Colombian coffee.
thing.
It lifts the shadow in the cloud. I love my Colombian coffee. It's like, I need more.
Yeah, and they said you can add this to your coffee if you still want to,
Oh, that's cool.
you can add it to your coffee. So it's
So
one,
it's
two,
basically like an instant coffee.
huh?
Is that kind of like an instant coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty, it smells good.
Yeah, don't ask me to smell anything like that. I'd be like, I don't know. I'd be the worst person for smelling a product like that.
Oh my goodness, that tastes really good. All right, let me think. All right.
Beverly's left her. She's leaving. She says, take care.
Yeah, I said goodbye to her. Yes. Um, oh my goodness. It tastes, let me taste it again.
Why do I not hear these things when you say goodbye to
It
somebody?
tastes like coffee. It tastes like a mild, you ever had like the light roasted coffee
No.
flavors? Kind of like that is what it tastes like. But it tastes really good. I mean, you can also add like sweetener. I got liquid stevia. You could add honey to it. I don't have creamer. We've got just the regular milk, and I just don't like. That's not the same as having creamer.
Yeah, for me, it's creamer, no sugar. I got to have my Italian creamer.
But yeah, that's good. That still would be good in coffee if you still want to use coffee. I'm gonna do a little squirt. I like I like with my teas. I have to have it. I don't mind drinking tea without it being sweetened, but I still like my tea sweetened, whether it's honey or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess being from the South, we like our Southern tea with, it's sweet. Unsweetened tea, even cold unsweetened tea, it is always hard for me to sit there and drink that.
Yeah, I don't drink tea unless it's like the old days when they used to have to sit down in Chinese restaurants and they used to give you the pot of green tea.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
tea I love. Otherwise, I don't touch tea at all.
That tastes really good. I was surprised because I was like, so it's a mushroom coffee. It has the cordyceps for energy, reishi for stress relief, lion's mane for focus, shiitake for immune support, turkey tail for healthy digestion, and king trumpet for it fights oxidative stress. So I mean stress on your nerves and stuff like that. Now that's what I learned a long time ago working at GNC. So it says drink daily, and over time the mushrooms and our blend will balance your body and mind. Use 2 servings per day to accelerate results. And that's what's on back. I'm reading what's on the back of theirs. So now, I do have a friend. Her name is Ellen. It's Ellen's Abundant Life on Less, and she lives in Cleveland, up near Cleveland, and she's been drinking the Ryze coffee, and she says she has seen a difference. So I was like, okay. So this month I had to save some money up. I wanted to get this.
Yeah, how
So yeah,
expensive is it?
all right. So I paid $25 in change for that. It's a 30-day supply,
And that's with your discount.
and that's with my discount. That's with 15% off.
That's still a lot of money.
I know. That's why I said I saved up for it. Now, Mud Water, which is another different mushroom coffee brand, they're a little bit more than Ryze Coffee. So theirs is $40, but they also have a whole lot of other things too. Ryze just came out with gummy bears with theirs, and then but Mudwater has different types of kits also. I think Ryze does too. So um, yeah, if I want to try the Mudwater, I'm gonna have to save up for that one too.
Yeah. I'm saving up right now for my Pedals from the Past adventure in September and a recliner because I don't have a couch or anything, and I want the recliner
Right.
so I can start using my compression boots a lot more. Try to help with the swelling of my legs.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see if I have to. It's 30 servings, a 30-day guarantee, and the magnet is limited, but they get a free. The spoon is free. It's free shipping. And if you go to their site, it's having a birthday sale, 25% off, which is $27, and you can add my 15% code in. It's Nancy Hawkins, all in capital letters is the code to put in there. So I was like, and then they do have a starter kit, which is 2 bags and the magnet and the spoon.
Oh, it's not Save Earth or Earth Day or that was 10% off Rise. Okay. I'm looking at your 10 days ago link. Page not found. Okay.
I should have actually the video was posted last night, so I don't know. Let's see here.
All right. You have a video from last night. Let me go there. Because I went through your community tab.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put the link down there.
It says 404, page not found.
Is it still doing that?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go back in there and fix it. Cause it, oh, well, it does that. All right, I'll go back and fix it.
Okay. Kim says, I'm listening, but doing some work.
Let's see here. Oh my goodness gracious. When you don't look at your emails for an hour and then all of a sudden you go back and it's like, oh, everybody was all these ads and everything. Oh, let's see here.
Hey, DJ. No, not the video, DJ. The link to the website for the coffee. I kept on getting a 404.
Yeah, let's see here.
Okay, that Funko Pop does not look like Lenny Kravitz. Sorry. I went to the Funko Pop link that you shared, but then I went to see what the other Funko Pops were. And I'm like, that does not look like Lenny Kravitz. I have a crush on Lenny Kravitz. They look nothing like him. I would love them to bring back Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow again because that's one of the ones I have on my wish list.
Right.
Oh wait a minute, I already got him. What am I saying? I have to go back and look again.
All right. I'm getting there, you guys. There is. All right. I just dropped the link to
Okay,
test in the chat. Try.
I clicked on it. Oh, it works!
All right.
Yay!
And then that's the code for 15% off. Just Nancy Hawkins. So yeah, I'll go back and fix that video. Yeah, because I'll go back in there when I put the links there and I'll click on them myself to make sure they work. They work because when I was first doing like some of the other ones, Jamie would go, Nancy, she's my tester. She goes, Nancy, they're not working. I'm like, oh my god, it was like 5 of them. I'm like, okay, let me go back and see what's going on.
Right.
So sweet. Now I know what I have to do. I have to go into my login, click the code, click it
Oh,
each
that's a
time
different magnet. That's a birthday magnet.
and everything. Ooh, I'm tired. I have to get a shower and go to the store. And oh no, it's raining there again. I was like, oh my gosh, I saw that this morning. I was like, no,
Hey
take
Eddie,
the rain.
how come Eddie did not come through on my? There it is. Now it did.
And I'm like, no, no rain for them right now.
I know they need to dry out the poor garden. I have to call a cab at 7 o'clock in the morning. No, actually before that, so I can be picked up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Ah, if they pick up and they're at their end too, that's the other thing.
Exactly.
I hate my cars in the shop. Hate it.
All right, now I'm going to try this and see if
I'll
this
hold on,
thing.
Serena. Okay, Serena, come on down. Hi, honey.
There we go. I fixed the link in the little video also. So there we
Good.
go.
Can you make me another pot? Another pot, another cup?
There.
Another pot of coffee. I only had one.
Oh, and this is the first one I've had all because I was going to do it, during the live and
Yeah,
everything, so y'all can see what my reaction is, because the face tells it all.
yeah, it does. It does for sure. But no, I was like, oh, can I have another cup of pot? Get another pot of coffee. No, I meant another cup of coffee. Like I already had one whole pot this morning. No,
Mm-hmm.
my language, my English is like cup of pot.
It tastes like you put hot chocolate, a little bit of hot chocolate in your coffee.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
That's what it tastes like. Because it just hit, the chocolate notes just hit. I was like, that's what it tastes like. I was like, oh, because I've done that too. I put this Hershey cocoa powder in my coffee and then sweeten it and everything because I was like, oh, this tastes good.
Yeah.
So yeah, this tastes really good. So we're gonna do this for 30 days, and I'll let y'all know how I feel after that. I'm still gonna have my coffee.
It'd be good for like every Sunday when you have your live while you're doing this, is let us know how you're feeling on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink 2 a day because it says use 2 servings per day to accelerate results.
Yeah.
That's a 30-day supply. So, and today's the 4th, the 5th. Oh, yesterday was the 4th. So may the
Yeah.
4th be with
And
you.
today is Cinco de Mayo Day. Yeah, we need the music.
No.
It's the mariachi band.
Uh, um, so June 4th, we're gonna see how I feel and what's going on.
There you go.
So,
But yeah, like a recap, like every week it's like, okay, I've been on it for this long now,
hmm
and I can let you know it still tasting okay.
yeah, exactly. Hey DJ. So, but I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it tastes like you put chocolate in your coffee.
That sounds cool.
I like that.
Yeah,
And this
that,
is a nice little spoon.
that is a nice little spoon, and that's like a keepsake because once your coffee's done, you can take that and put it in a cup. Like I have a whole like Ann Dale. I have her pusher, 2 spoons. I have my spoons from Lazy Days Ahead and from somewhere else. From Timu, all wooden spoons. I'm
hmm
collecting like all these different size wooden spoons. That would be perfect in the collection if you collect them.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah,
Coffee, mugs, cups.
yeah. I have another coffee mug coming to me from and it was the person said I'm sending you a coffee mug as a gift. Digits,
Oh,
which I thought was really really sweet, and it's got his new logo. So the new logo is really cool. So I'm excited
uh,
about that.
we're
And that's
supposed to
my
be
my
strange.
kids are hating me. They're like, Ma, you already have 30 coffee mugs from Ray Dunn. Do you need more coffee mugs? You now have four or five from people from YouTube, and you got your Scooby mug. I know. I'm collecting coffee.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that storm looks crazy. Look how that storm looks down there by Eddie and them. All
Holy moly!
it looks like a dragon.
It does look like a dragon. That should be the storm name. I'm starting to take vitamins for the first time since I was a kid, y'all.
And then that's down by Eddie. I'm just
That
like
looks like that looks like the phoenix.
pterodactyl.
Phoenix. It's
Yeah.
the wings. Man, Eddie, you've got phoenixes and dragons.
So that's
That's
what it
a
looks like.
dragon right there. That's a dragon
Oh my
right there.
gosh. I've never seen it look like that before.
Wild.
Well, the tornado they had the other night, so not Saturday night, Friday night. Friday night.
Kim says it's raining here, but it isn't raining here, but it's cloudy and gloomy looking outside. Oof, yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah.
for us.
Thursday or Friday. It was during supper time. And I was watching Reed Timmer and he was in they were in Texas. Robert Lee, Texas. So is where they were at. And this tornado, and they showed it on in the radar and everything. It was going north, then it turned northeast, then it went back north, then it was going back to south. And it was like this thing was just not stopping, and it was kind of like going every direction you could think of,
Good. Enjoy.
And I was just like, oh my goodness. And that one was a bad one
Hmm.
too. And I was like, yeah, but I've seen storms do that. When I was younger, 8, 9, 10 years old and everything, and we would go outside after the storm and we look and I'm like, the storm's coming back. And they go, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm like, watch. You watch the sky. That storm's coming back. And sure enough, it would turn back and come back. And I was just like, there you go. Hey, you know that because I sit and I notice things. I I watch the weather. I've always been fascinated with the weather. So
I tried watching the clouds in the sky. People are like, do you see the elephant in the sky? I'm like, no. But I like that you showed us the radar because I mean I saw a phoenix, I saw some dragons.
Yeah, I know.
The storm looked better than the clouds. Sorry, you all in the storm path, but it did look cool.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, because I was like, kept saying it's raining here and there's no rain whatsoever. I
Right.
said, I zoom this out, see what's going on. Like, oh my goodness.
Now I see it.
Mm-mm-mm. I tell you. So, all right, everybody, we're going to head off here in a few minutes. I'm going to pray before I go, but I wanted to tell y'all the health update, what was going on. Do the Ryze coffee that I got and everything, so I can tell y'all what it tastes like and everything. We're going to do it for 30 days. I'm going to let y'all know every week on the live what I feel that I think is working, and all that good stuff and everything. So let me pray over everybody before we leave. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the health and safety, provision, and protection you give each and every one of us. We pray for those who are in the storm's path today, the Lord, who are getting more rain, that you just cover and protect them, and that you keep them safe as the water rises, and that nobody will lose their life. And we pray that your face will shine upon us throughout the rest of this week, and that you'll guide us everywhere we go. Your love and favor will cover and protect us. To those who are here on panel and those who will watch later on. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hmm.
So, y'all have a wonderful day. God bless. Stay safe. We love y'all. And we'll see you next time on Our Treasure Home. I got to
Bye,
keep up
y'all.
singing.
Hold on, let me do a piece on here.
There you go.
Oops, cancel.